Defender is one of the greatest video games ever created in the history of this universe and most other universes. It's Defender, known far and wide as a masterpiece in video game design. And it's always fun no matter what version of Defender you play, whether it be the arcade original, the Atari 2600, ColecoVision, or this version, the Atari 5200 Defender. The 5200 version of Defender is far more faithful to the arcade machine than the Atari 2600 game cartridge. However, I'm not sure if it's any better. It certainly looks a lot more like the arcade machine, but it's not as good as the ColecoVision version of Defender. I have reviewed all of these, so you can check them out. I should add that this version is far more difficult than both the 2600 and ColecoVision versions of Defender. It has more of that crushing, overwhelming difficulty that the arcade machine has. But it lacks the polish of the ColecoVision version. Defender actually looks a bit sloppy on the 5200. The Atari 2600 version of Defender is very crude compared to this. It's almost a different game compared to the original arcade Defender, but it's still really good. I actually like the Atari 2600 Defender. That's also the one that I grew up with and played the most. But at least here on the Atari 5200 version, you get multiple buttons. So you have buttons for firing your missiles, your smart bombs, and hyperspace. Unlike the Atari 2600, which only gave you one button. This version of Defender offers a trackball option so that you can play it with the Atari 5200 trackball, which sadly I do not have yet. Gotta find one of those things for Missile Command and check out Defender with a trackball. Sounds kinda neat. Now you can get Defender on pretty much every game console out there these days, like the PlayStation and Xbox Live Arcade. The arcade original is still the best one. They did a nice job bringing Defender to the Atari 5200, and it's really cool to play the old home console versions of Defender and see the differences between each of the game cartridges. It's not like today where you get pretty much the identical game on every game system. Back then, these were very different from each other and from the arcade versions. And that's Defender, a game that you should have multiple copies of. You should have enough copies of Defender laying around that with a little ingenuity and some duct tape, you could actually create a jacket out of Defender game cartridges.